Phoebe, can you stop running around, please? Trying to foam. Hey everyone, my name is Bridget. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be more on the simple side because I'm just going to be showing you how I take care of my feeder insects. This is definitely not a glamorous and amazing video by any means, but this is something that I think a lot of people find important when taking care of reptiles or amphibians or anything. It's the actual feeder insects themselves. There are some people who have reptiles or amphibians in their collection and they do feed them the proper feeder insects, but they don't actually care for the feeder insects and they don't gut load or anything. And gut loading just refers to actually feeding the insects themselves and getting them nice and fattened up and plump and everything so that they're more nutritious for your actual herps that you're feeding. If you feed them something that is hungry or dehydrated, that's not necessarily being properly taken care of, then it's not going to be as nutritious. So let's say you have a difference between two crickets that you're feeding your lizard. If you feed a cricket that is hungry and dehydrated and isn't very plump and just kind of puny and dried out, it's not going to be as nutritious as a cricket that has been fed daily and has hydration and is nice and fat and juicy and plump. That's going to be a whole lot better for the health of your lizard. So I'm definitely not an expert when it comes to feeder insects and how to take care of them, but I have been doing this for a while now, and so I figured out ways that work best for me to not only make them a healthy food for my animals, but also help them live longer. I know a lot of people struggle with their feeder insects actually passing away very quickly. They don't use them in time before they just die off, and so I personally feel as though I can make my feeder insects last quite a long time. Although I'm definitely not an expert and this video is not a way for me to say, you know, this is the only way you should keep your feeder insects. It is kind of more on the lines of a suggestion because I think that it works out for me, so I think that it could help anybody else. I definitely recommend feeding your feeder insects or gut loading your feeder insects at least 24 hours before feeding them to your animal, just so that they have the proper nutrients within their body and they have enough time to actually get that up and running. So if you're in a situation where you either can't or you don't want to feed all of your insects at the same time, you can remove the number of insects that you're going to feed the following day and put them in a separate container and gut load them that way instead of actually gut loading your entire collection. This is not something that I do. I just feed them all the time and let them grow as they grow and feed them off as I feed them off, but you can go either way. Something I do want to warn you about, just in case you don't want to feed them all at the same time, they will get thirsty, they will get hungry, and if there is no food or water available to them, they will begin to find it in other ways by turning into cannibals and eating each other. It does happen. I synced it. So if you want to eliminate that and you want to keep them alive longer and you don't want them to eat themselves before they actually get to be fed off to your other animals, then I do recommend actually taking care of them and gut loading them and giving them something to eat and drink. There are some feeder insects that don't need to be gut loaded. It's beneficial for them to be gut loaded as well, but it makes it a little bit more challenging to gut load them, and that includes different worms that you would keep in your refrigerator, actually, like butterworms and waxworms. Those are feeder insects that don't necessarily need to be gut loaded, and the reason that they're kept in colder temperatures is because of that reason, and also because they die off more quickly in room temperature and they just thrive a whole lot better in the colder temperatures. Not full on in your refrigerator, but like the door where it's about, you know, anywhere from 45 to 60 degrees. I also don't have every feeder insect that could possibly be fed in my collection right now. I'm just going to show you what I have, kind of the staples that I have. Things like hornworms, I don't have any of those right now, but they're really not difficult to take care of. You literally keep them in whatever cup they come in when you order them and let them eat the food that they already have prepared in that cup, and then that's it. You do need to properly clean their enclosures. Whatever you keep them in, plastic containers, Tupperware containers, I keep mine in little critter keeper kind of things, and I do actually clean those out on a regular basis. As the days go by, I do refresh their food and their water source every single 2 days. That is actually extremely important because the food spoils very quickly, and it is important to give them foods that don't spoil as quickly. There have been situations where I have not changed the food out as quickly as I should have, and everything in the container around the food molded, and that is very, very harmful for the feeder insects themselves and also for your animals, because you don't know what feeder insects could have ingested some of that mold, and if you feed it off to any of your animals, then of course it's going to transfer to the animal itself. So if you do find mold, I recommend actually replacing everything, like even all the bugs. I know it's wasteful and you don't want to get rid of those bugs, but if you do find mold, you don't know who's eating it, and so I just recommend getting rid of everyone. So because whatever food you're feeding these animals can spoil very quickly, that is why I change it every 2 days. And the foods that I find don't spoil extremely fast are things like carrots, squash, potatoes, and apple. Anything else spoils very quickly, anything that has a lot of moisture content. So I change their food and their water source every 2 days, and while I'm in there, I do spot clean everything, and I take out any of the fallen bugs that just so happen to appear, because it's gonna happen. You're gonna have bugs that die off, and so I do remove those as fast as I can so that they don't contaminate anything. And then once a week I do a full clean of their enclosures, and that means replacing all the bedding, washing all of their food and water dish things that I have in there, and putting them all back. And I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to cleaning the enclosures that I keep the bugs in, it is a big pain, because you have to remove every single bug that's in there, clean it out, wash it out, and then replace every bug that you just took out. So yeah, very simple video today. I'm just going to show you how I take care of my feeder insects, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for my video today. Just a simple little video showing you all my bugs and how I take care of them. I feel like I take care of them pretty much as I take care of everyone else. It's like having a whole bunch of other pets on top of the pets I already have. Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed and maybe learned a couple of tips and tricks to take care of your feeder insects. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button on your way out. I really appreciate it. Also hit that notification bell so you can know when I upload next. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!